Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Minnesota Vikings offensive playbook. Specifically, we're going to be looking at the bunch tight end formation. This is a formation that we really haven't seen a lot, but I do think this formation is actually really good this year. If you guys want to get my entire Minnesota offensive ebook, it's going to be we're going to be dropping that in our school community. Our school members get access to all of my full offensive and defensive ebooks. So if you guys want to check that out, I'm going to put a link to that community in the description. $10 will get you access to everything on the site, both Madden and college football. So if you're looking to get better at the game, check out the school site. And we're going to be taking a look here at the Minnesota bunch tight end. Now, the reason we're using Minnesota's bunch tight end is because of these cheat motion plays that we have here, specifically this cheat tight end hitch halfback seam. And this has a little cheat motion, little fade, which is really, really effective this year. So the way we're going to use this, first and foremost, I just want to show what this is kind of first purposes for. So the first thing that I like to do with this play is we're just going to post our tight end. We're going to corner route this outside bunch receiver, and we're going to stem him all the way down. And then we're just going to drag this slot receiver. So you see it looks kind of like this. Now, the main thing that we're going to be able to do with this play is if they do run a cover 2 and they have a cloud flat defender or a hard flat defender on that outside, you're going to see that this guy on the fade is going to just instantly shred cover 2. It's going to be a nice throw off rip, and you're just going to be able to attack that. Now, there's some other ways we're going to use this play to attack cover 2 soft squat, but I did want to show one thing about cover 2 soft squat. So I'm going to switch to cover 2 soft squat. Again, if you want to just use the corner on the play to kind of save a hot route, you can do that, but I like to put the outside guy on the corner. But anyways, you'll see here, the soft squat is still going to go down to the running back, even though the running back is on like a streak, so to speak. He still typically will leave that cheat motion, and so that route becomes, in my opinion, extremely valuable. Another big piece of value for these cheat motion plays is how they help counter any kind of man coverage. So if you're getting shaded down cover 2 man, which is really good in this game, you're going to see that this will do a really good job against that. So you'll see here, get that cheat motion. You see how we get that bump, that deep half kind of still focus on the tight end, and then this becomes wide open over the top. So really does a good job of manipulating man coverage as well. We'll just go to like a basic cover and robber press. And again, we'll just post the tight end. On this left-hand side, another thing you could do is you could have like a stemmed curl or something like that to the slot receiver, and then a backside drag or a stemmed corner. So kind of a versatile play, a little bit of kind of do a lot of different things with this. Here's cover 1. You'll see cover 1, normally he's going to actually not get burned. So kind of just keep that in mind that, you know, this is really going to get shaded down man, but it's not something that's going to just shred every man coverage, right? And then on this left side here, if we're going to do kind of a route combo like this, once they start to kind of shift to more of a zone coverage, then this little backside drag is going to be super available and super open for you. You can hit that. And then typically what we're seeing a lot right now is we're seeing a lot of cover 2 on the bunch side. So kind of almost like a quarter half type of defense is pretty common. So if we do get a quarter half, what's going to happen is on this left-hand side, this is where if you just leave the play basically like this, the reason this could be an advantage is because this bench concept will do a really good job of attacking that cover 2, because that deep half on the left side, he still has to respect the tight end route, and so he's not going to play that corner route. So that's another kind of setup, if you will, that I think is pretty good. And then let's say that they climb to the tight end, this running back streak becomes wide open, or this running back kind of seam route. So there's just a lot in this play that is, I think, really, really effective, and you can use to manipulate a lot of different coverages. Another setup that I really like, as I said, is using kind of almost like a backside drag like this, or even just leaving the out route. So you could have it like this as well. If you're going to do this, I would stem the tight end post down 1 or 2 ticks just to make it run a little sharper. And you're going to see here that now this tight end can kind of get across the field. But in general, I wouldn't say it's like super effective. I would probably just maybe leave this bench concept here on the left side, kind of force them to really have to play, basic defense on that left side, and then we're able to manipulate it. So now, while this formation is also this formation is just really good against man this year. Like, it's really good against man. So another play that you have is this play whips. This play whips is really good against man coverage. One of the simple things that I like to run is essentially just a flat route on this outside bunch receiver. I'm going to take this slot receiver and put him on a post route. And then on the right side, I really like to flat streak combo. And the reason I like this is it's just a quick hitting play that's going to do a lot in terms of being able to beat pretty much anything the defense wants to do. And it's really good against man coverage. This zig is money. It's going to be very difficult for them to consistently play man coverage. You're not going to really see a lot of good man coverage on this. I mean, this is just a good play for kind of beating it. If you wanted to, another thing you could do on this is you can use this corner. And the reason why I want to show the corner route is because, let's say for situationally, maybe they're using a hard flat. Watch this hard flat still get pulled out, and you can still throw this. So even though the corner route isn't a flat route, it's still going to pull to the sideline any flat zone. So that's another thing that you kind of have access to here. If you want to use this tight end whip route, what you can also do within this play is you can kind of do essentially just come out, stem this route down, and then just post this guy, and then just call hike. And you'll see here that it's kind of hard to use both of these areas of the field. So essentially, again, we're trying to consistently funnel them into this idea of a shaded down cover 4 or a shaded down cover 3. And then once we start to get that more consistently, one of my favorite things to do is to utilize a streak on my tight end. You could still do it like this, but I think it's better like this. And then what we're really trying to look for on this play is we're really looking for this motion streak. You'll see that I can just throw this with an outside pass lead, and a lot of times I'll just be able to almost back shoulder this. This specific cheat motion is a little different than some of the other cheat motions, but the reason that this is really good is because I can freeform this cheat motion to the sideline. So you'll see here I'm going to freeform it now to get a little bit more bend on the ball, and I'll be able to kind of throw that to the sideline. Now the cover 4 is going to play this the best, but against cover 3, this is almost a free several yards. You just kind of wait till he turns his back, and you can kind of throw in that kind of area of the field. So effectively, what we've done with all of our plays is we've kind of funneled them into having to be in this cover 4 style defense. Is really the only defense that's going to be close to being effective. So what I'll do is I'll also kind of mix in some setups like this out of this. Gives them the same basic look, but the reason I like this setup is really we're looking more specifically to attack kind of that left side. And I do have some setups for cover 4 that we're going to get into in a minute, but I just want to show that you can actually throw this. I got a pretty bad freeform there. Let me show you. So when I have a hard flat over here, we're just going to look to throw all the way to the left side. You see we're able to kind of throw that in that area. And then if they are not playing hard flat coverage, what you're looking for here, okay, they're not playing hard flats. Let's just take what the defense gives us and just check down to our tight end over the middle of the field. So that's one of my favorite plays, just in terms of beating cover 4. So another play that I want to go over in this is these other couple of cheat motion plays, and we did already kind of cover whips. So I want to go over this cheat tight end hitch and go, as well as this cheat H-out, and then we'll cover some specific things you can do against cover 4. So again, if you take a look at why this play is really good, this cheat H-out, one of the things that you might not know that you can do this year is you can actually stem these cheat motions, right? So this one is it's more of a streak type of a cheat motion, and it's paired with this nice corner route. So what I like to do is I like to use that to be able to throw more stuff to the right side of the field. One of the weaknesses of bunch tight end is it's kind of honestly difficult to attack this left side of the field. So what I like to do with something like this is I'm going to stem the cheat motion, the out route on the cheat motion. I'm going to stem him all the way up. So let me reset. Let me show you what this would look like. So again, you're just stemming it all the way up, and it basically is going to turn it into a streak, right? Then what I like to do here is just simply drag this slot receiver. And so there's a lot of action going on over the middle of the field, but essentially what we're really looking for is really looking for this tight end, and we're just kind of trying to hope that the user gets held in the middle of the field. Now, another way to set this up is you can also really like that this tight end is on a deeper corner, or like a sharp corner. But anyway, and again, I would literally try to stem this all the way up, so it's like that, and then you can block your running back and run it like this as well. So if you want a little bit extra protection, you're still going to have that high-low option on that right-hand side. And as you see, that tight end corner is going to be kind of get into a spot on the field that's kind of difficult to defend. And then obviously if they switched it to that tight end, then of course you can throw this. The other thing I like about this play is this is still going to be decent against cover 2. So in the example of like a soft squat or something like that, if we just, you see how it's a little different than the other streak, right? They should not be in cover 2. In all honesty, they really shouldn't. But if they are consistently in a cover 2 coverage, I just want to show you that the soft squat, this is why I like to put the running back on a table or something like this, because the soft squat is going to basically bite down, and then you see your corner route is going to get open on that side. So this is one of the more underrated cheat motion plays within bunch tight end that I think is really effective. Now, let's talk about this cheat hitch and go type deal. Again, one of the things that I want to show is you can stem. So this route on the left side, as you see, I can actually stem this slot receiver all the way down. And so what I like to do with this play is I like to drag and almost turn it into smash return, and then basically run the combo like this. So as you can see here, you're going to see this little kind of almost return route over the middle of the field, and then you have that tight end post kind of topping the play. So you kind of have a little bit of everything within this. Another thing you can do out of this play, cheat tight end hitch go, is we can post this guy and kind of get a little bit more of a right side flood. So if you wanted to literally turn this pretty much into smash return, you could certainly do that as well. The tight end, the actual cheat motion, let me cover that real quick on this cheat tight end hitch go. I don't think you can stem this one. Unfortunately, I wish you could. Let's just let it run. Yeah, I don't think you can because it's like an arrow route. And so I don't find a ton of purpose in that specific in route. Honestly, the best thing you probably could do with that in route is if you really wanted to use this in route, you would want to stem this return route all the way down, drag this backside guy, and then streak your tight end. So it'd look like this, and just watch kind of how this play kind of runs. It's a little tight. As you can see, the spacing is just not really what we would want. So anyways, I probably wouldn't do that. But the next thing I want to go over is some specific things you can do that really manipulates cover 3 and cover 4. So the main thing that I want to show you against cover 4 is triple out. We're just going to streak, or if you want to do the stem to curl trick, you can stem this slot all the way up on a curl route, and then we're going to have that outside corner all the way down. And then from there, honestly, this is pretty much what I like to do. I like to block my running back, but I'm mainly wanting to really try to hit this outside corner. Now, what will happen a lot is you're going to get a lot of cover 4 in this offense because it's so compressed. So what you want to do against cover 4 is this deep corner route. This is why I don't stem him or anything. This deep corner route in the play triple out, what'll happen against cover 4, this is just like a stock cover 4, that outside quarter will basically bite down onto that He'll bite down on that short corner. It's a little better if they're pressed, but he'll typically bite down on that short corner. Try to show you what I'm talking about here. Let's see if we can get it when he's backed off. Yeah, see the bite? So you want to throw it right on the bite, and then I'm throwing it just a little bit late. You're kind of anticipating the bite, and again, a lot of times they'll switch stick, and if they switch stick, it's like dead. I mean, it's just, if they switch stick to that outside quarter, this is almost always open. Here you'll see it a little bit more here. Let's see if we can get the bite. And I guess I forgot. Did I not press there? If he doesn't bite, even if he does bite on the outside guy is open. But I want to show like a press quarter. If they're pressing their outside quarters, this will cook it. Let's see. See how he kind of bites down, and then you can kind of throw this almost like a post. That is an option that you have. Now, what a lot of people do is they don't do that. They just kind of leave that outside quarter backed off, right? So a lot of people leave that outside quarter backed off. So in that situation, we would just simply take what the defense gives us, say, okay, we're just going to throw this to the sideline. And then one other thing with this is there is a really tight, it's a really kind of specific window. But if you throw this kind of right here, he can sometimes split a cover 4. So it is a little bit of an anticipation throw. But the other thing that I wanted to say as far as a cover 4 to the bunch side is another thing that you can do is kind of the old school combo like this. I think this is still a really good combo. And I'll talk a little bit about that as it pertains to match. But I really like that route combo. And we'll talk about this against match coverage. So because you're in bunch tight end, you're going to see a little bit more of an uptick in match coverage. And so this is something that you can do that is very simple, but it's very effective against match. And this would be to utilize, you can do it out of any play, but it's basically this route combo right here. And so if you watch this slot receiver, you're going to see that he's going to basically just run away from the match coverage, and it's going to be a one-play score. So you're able to manipulate match coverage fairly easily within this. The only other thing that I wanted to go over as far as on this left-hand side is a cover 2. So if they are cover 2ing, again, you want to kind of be in something that's similar to a bench concept, but essentially whoops, I forgot I thought I was in triple out. Essentially what will happen against cover 2, if you're in triple out, is your short corner is going to get matched by that soft squat, but then that deeper corner is just going to run over the top, and you're going to really want to bend this to the left, but that's a nice little cover 2 beater on that left-hand side. One other thing about cover 4 is you could use a play like PA boot over, and if they are in a cover 4 coverage, this is kind of a specific thing to cover 4. You'll see this post kind of gets underneath of that quarter. So that's another route that you have in your arsenal. But in general, I would say cover 4 is probably one of the better ways to try to defend this formation. But that being said, you are still vulnerable to a lot of stuff. And that's where, if we go back to that original kind of cheat motion play where the running back, and the reason I was using this one is also because you have a running back Texas pattern kind of built into it. So you could do something like this, and then essentially, you could have almost like a triple out type thing, maybe a little shorter of a corner so that it can pull that quarter a little bit better. And so you'll see here, get that nice throw on the sideline. But that's bunch tight end, guys. There's a lot more that you can obviously do within this formation that is really good. One of the things being, even the C route is kind of a neat little route. You can kind of throw it in between a lot of stuff. The Texas route from this is a really good route. You basically can't play man coverage against bunch tight end this year. There's just so many things that are going to be able to be open against man coverage. So you don't really have to worry too much about man. The main coverage that you're going to need to consistently be able to attack is going to be that cover 4 shade down. But in general, this formation with the cheat motion series, and then also some of the staples from bunch tight end that have been really good for years, is still really good. PA boot over is still a good play, even though it doesn't get called as much as it used to. Speaking of that, one of the things you can also do is a route combo like this, kind of an old school Durham, but you get that nice crosser. The crosser is one of the better routes in the game this year, just because it consistently beats man, and it consistently beats and consistently gets underneath stuff. And then again, don't forget to utilize these stemmed cheat motion routes are really, really, really good. And of course, we got the running back route. I don't know if I can fit that in. It's crazy. But I'll leave it at that. That's bunch tight end, guys, out of the Vikings book. If you guys want to check out the rest of the offense, make sure that you join the school community. School.com/Cody Ballard. The link to sign up is in the description down below.